Hey everybody, welcome to Neil Talks. My name's Neil, and it's time to talk the Rings of Power. Suddenly we're at episode 6, guys, and if you don't know, this is only an 8-episode season. So, as much as we've been laying a ton of groundwork up to now, I feel like it's time that the action needs to start kicking off, because I feel like I know enough about the world and the characters in it that I need to see somebody really act. And yes, we've certainly had some developing plot, but it's all been maneuvering, and I feel like the end of this season is, in all likelihood, a battle. Probably between Adar and his orcish army, plus whatever Southlanders have pledged their allegiance to him, versus Galadriel and the Numenorians, and the rest of the Southlanders, led by Bronwyn, and whatever elves Galadriel may be able to recruit who are still in Middle-earth, Elrond and the such. What are the dwarves going to do? Are they going to get involved? Probably not, because they're going to be busy mining mithril for the elves in order to save the elven race. If Durin can convince his father that that's a thing that they should do, because of how dangerous it is to mine. And based on how much mithril exists in the future, I don't expect that a ton is going to end up being mined. So what does that do to Durin and Elrond's relationship, which, by the way, I think is the best thing about this entire show? Those two guys, the bromance they've got, this interspecies camaraderie it's really freaking cool, and Durin's absolutely my favorite character on the show right now. But we still have mysteries. We have all sorts of mysteries. Who is Sauron? Is it Adar, or is it somebody else? It could be anybody else, because Sauron is he's a deceiver. He's a shapeshifter. He can appear any which way he wants. What about these 3 beings that arrived in white last episode? One of them was carrying a staff, the headpiece of which looked awfully like Sauron's eye. So maybe that's Sauron. Who knows? Or maybe they're the blue wizards that I've heard about through the comments section. Or maybe they're somebody else entirely. Are they the Valar? I don't know. Who is the stranger? Is the stranger Gandalf, or is he another wizard? Odds are he's a wizard, but is which one? Unclear. He's definitely given off some strong Gandalf vibes, and the time he's spending with the Harfeet, in future the Hobbits, makes a ton of sense as to his affinity to the Hobbits that we see in The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings. But that might be a red herring. Maybe the stranger is somebody else entirely. What about this broken sword hilt that Theo, Bronwyn's son, has? Is that corrupting him? It's certainly feeding on his blood a couple of times. The orcs certainly value it. They've been hunting for it. So yeah, lots of curiosities. I'm hoping we're not saving all the action and world changing for the last episode. How much longer does Numenor have before it sinks into the sea? Because we know that happens by the time we get to the story we're familiar with in the Third Age. And how does that happen? There's certainly this vision of Numenor being swallowed by this great wave through the Palantir Stone. So the Queen's seen that now. Galadriel's seen it as well. Can you change prophecy? Can you change your fate in Middle-earth? I'm not sure what the rules are about this sort of stuff, but I'm excited to jump back into the story. So let's jump into it now. This is episode 6, and I'm going to say this is pronounced Udun, but I might be wrong.
Summon the legions. It is time.
Come with me, and together we will redeem both our bloodlines.
What's in Halbrand's neck pouch?
Whatever has designed this much is certain. Our enemy knows your son has what he needs to enact it.
So is the sword a literal key, or is it more metaphorical? And like, it already feels like the orcs have rallied to him. So what else could that sword provide? Adar, presumably? Oh, sunflower seed shells? What's going on here? Those are different hands.
Our enemy may be weak, their numbers meager. Yet before this night is through, some of us will fall. Brothers! And brothers and sisters!
Damn, the orcs
look
good. The makeup, so good. Are we gonna see the tower come tumbling down on this army? The way they shot it last episode, it hinted that that might be something to foresee. Or have they left? Where could they have gone? Is there like a back door they could have escaped from? Could they have run, or are they hiding? Well, he can't be the only one still here.
The elves here is Moon.
No.
Your father.
Okay. Oh, rig the doors. Wow.
How many of you could have survived that?
How long do we have?
Not all of them are dead.
Not long enough.
We didn't see Adar die. Okay, so they defend the village next. They kind of telegraphed the tower thing last episode, unfortunately. I was expecting it. Mucking out the horse stables.
Pardon me, Commander. I was only...
Hoping to get the first sight of land. Then for what did you join, soldier?
I was just trying to get away. It's not Numenor. Not the real Numenor, anyway.
It exists still. If only in the heart of the lowliest stable sweep.
There it is. I love the look of their ships. The split masts like that.
His mother. What happened to her?
She drowned.
Will we find out more about that?
It's a full day's sail into the mountains, and from there, another day's ride east into the Vale.
Signal the other ships.
So they're going straight to Osterith?
Tell them to make all possible
Is
haste.
that their goal? They're not gonna go to Linden first? I feel like they could use some more elves. What an awesome looking map, though. Can't damage it.
We survived them before. Now we must do so again.
Alright, get ready for battle. I love these sorts of montages. This is awesome.
Tonight.
The ingenuity of men.
This will test your nerve.
Oh, flaming pitch.
Taverns for wounded and children. I can fight.
I know you can. Which is why I need you in there, protecting those who cannot.
But also, you'll be safer.
It is a tradition among elves. Before the battle begins, plant one.
New life. In defiance of death.
So that's exactly what Adar was doing, too. He still has those elven traditions.
The rest, we shall plant after the battle is over. Together.
Promise me.
Well, they aren't both making it out of this night. That's not going to end happily. Someone's going to die tonight. How many Uruk even survived, do we know? We really have no idea what they're going to be facing. Okay. I half expected that all of a sudden we'd just see flaming arrows out of the darkness or something. Oh. It's gonna be a bunch of them. Jeez. I'm gonna assume Adar isn't dead either. Though he's not at the front. Gotta wait till they're all over that bridge. Come on! Damn Flint. Oh, jeez. Dang! Alright. They're trapped from behind. Number 2. And now they're trapped. Nice tactics. Love it.
They're ready for the tavern!
I don't see Adar. So they're gonna batter down the tavern doors. Where's the sword? Dang, he's a biggin'. Dang. They've both lost their weapons. I mean, I get we want a little martial arts or something. It just doesn't feel like Middle Earth is martial arts territory. Wow. Still got the stick sticking out of his eye. Someone's gonna take this guy out. Bronwyn? Yeah. Yeah, we know she's badass. I'm kind of surprised. I would have... We win? We got them all? And they never breached the tavern? Do we know that? Red blood. Are they all human? Great, you killed your countrymen. Where are all the orcs? Nice stunt. Oh, jeez. Yeah. It's gonna be a slaughter. Oh, jeez. All the way through. Jeez. Oh, man. So many of them survived. This is why Adara wasn't with that group.
Help him first.
She's so good. Too late.
Put pressure on the wound.
Man, they are just showing it all.
Wake up! Mother!
Do we know she's dead? Or is she just passed out from the pain? Yeah. There it goes. Well, this doesn't seem promising. Unless daylight arrives and... Oh. Is this Numenor already? It is. Looks like the future of the Riders of Rohan. Oh. They know his weak points. They're not here to kill everybody just yet. They're here for the sword.
The woman next.
Wait! It's under here.
We're We're gonna see that sword in action, aren't we? Sun's out. Oh. Whoa. Nice. Well done, Lieutenant. Stab. Got. Right, that's the technique. Oh, who's up there? Oh, okay. Commanders. The Queen's Guard. Oh, he wants to get down there. Oh, not the horse. Nice.
Their commander.
Oh, awesome. Theo's smitten. Oh, Hallbrand's riding back up. So is this the moment of Hallbrand's betrayal for all of you who are saying Hallbrand is Sauron? Or is this the moment he proves for sure that he isn't? How'd he come from there? Oh! Is the horse okay? I hope. Okay, horse is okay. Ooh.
You remember me?
He remembers Adar.
No.
Where's Galadriel? She just kept going?
I need him alive.
Did I cause someone you love pain?
Okay, okay. I'm gonna say Hallbrand, not Sauron. But tell me your arguments in the comments.
Seen enough battle for a week. More like a whole lifetime.
Okay. Know thyself.
I heard stories of elves taken by Morgoth. You are one of them, are you not? The Moriondor. The first orcs.
Uruk.
Where's Sauron?
I killed Sauron.
I do not believe you.
That doesn't fit what we know, but is Sauron more a title that people take? Is it like the Dread Pirate Roberts? The name has power?
I vow to eradicate every last one of you.
It would seem I'm not the only elf alive that's being transformed by darkness.
What did he just whisper? So the mystery deepens. Adar says he killed Sauron, but that certainly doesn't mesh with what we know.
Whatever it was he did to you, and whatever it was you did, be free of it.
Not that easy. Are we sure that that's the Hilton there? She's up and walking already?
My people are alive because of you.
As I understand it, they're alive because of you.
You called for me, Your Majesty.
Did they know him? She recognizes that.
Are you the king we were promised?
Yes.
Okay. It seems awfully positive in episode 6 out of 8.
Many might have done the same in your place.
You saved your mother.
It's not just guilt, I feel. It's loss. I felt powerful.
Give it to Numenor to toss into the sea on their voyage home.
Oh, does it end up in Isildur's hands or something? Oh, he wants it. He wants to feel it. That doesn't seem like a smart thing Arendir just did at all. Have they been deceived? Yeah. So who's got it? How did he get it? It's literally a key. Is that Sauron's tomb? Whoa. Holy crap. This looks crazy. Is it gonna wash out the whole village? Like, is it downstream?
He forms an unbreakable bond with the soldier he bears. In time they become as one.
I feel like there's a tidal wave coming. Yeah. There we go. Took long enough. Oh, it's coming through the tunnels. The Great Flood. Mother died of drowning. Who else is gonna die of drowning today? Oh. Oh. What are we quenching down here? Oh my god. Mount Doom. Udun. It's the birth of Mount Doom. Wow. Holy crap. Take shelter where? Being in a wooden house, probably not any better than out the open. Wow. Holy crap. He was gone. Where did it... Right. That's what I asked for. That's what I thought probably we were building to at the end of this season, but we got it all right here in this episode. This fight between Adar and the Uruk army versus Numenor and the Southlanders that decided not to pledge allegiance to Adar. And yeah, wow. We real swings in that battle. First the tower falls and the Southlanders feel like we may have a chance, and then the remaining orcs come to the village and they're wiped out, except it's some orcs, sure, but it's all the other Southlanders that switched teams and went to Adar instead, so they basically killed their own. And then the slaughter begins, and then Numenorian cavalry arrive to save the day, and then there's this bait and switch where we think Adar has this hilt, this sword hilt that's the key to providing a home for the Uruk, and he's tasked that actually to the one surviving Southlander, the one that led the betrayal, to turn the key. Unfortunately, this show telegraphs things a little too much. Like, I saw the tower. They hinted at knocking over the tower at the end of last episode. The way they were passing around the wrapped up hilt, it seemed quite possible that it wasn't the hilt at all, that they were being deceived. I have to think the hilt of an ornate iron sword, though, would feel different than a wooden axe. Nevertheless, Adar's plan worked, and they unleashed Udun. I don't know whether Udun is the mountain or this eruption or what it means exactly, but we see the effect. The sword is inserted and the key is turned and the lake drains and it goes through this massive network of tunnels that the orcs have dug, and all ends up in this underground magma chamber, which is under the mountain clearly, and the mountain erupts. That massive buildup of steam triggers a volcanic eruption, and that it makes sense that that's the birth of Mount Doom, and this massive eruption is essentially what converts the Southlands into Mordor, because it's literally raining hell right now. And Galadriel is just standing stone-faced, staring into this cataclysmic pyroclastic flow that's barreling down on us at the end of the episode. We know she survives, but who else is going to survive this insane eruption? You know, if you're instantly buried by superheated ash and gas and stuff, that's not just something you walk away from by, hunkering down next to a wall. And yet we've got so many characters in this village that ought to survive. The Queen and Halbrand and Galadriel and Arondir and Bronwyn and Isildur and his father and Isildur's buddy, and we don't just wipe them all out. In fact, it would be surprising if we lost more than one of them in the eruption, but yeah, I don't know. I mean, it's a massive turning of the tide, and it makes Halbrand's mission that much harder, because yes, you're the new king, but king of what exactly? Are you the king of the people? Where do you lead them that they're safe, and that they're not going to interfere with whoever lives already there? They certainly can't stay in Mordor, but yeah, I'm surprised Arondir even gave the hilt back to Theo, thinking, here, hey Theo, why don't you just give this to the Numenorians when they leave? They can sink it for you. It doesn't matter how much faith you've got in the kid. Like that amount of power should be better supervised than in the hands of a 14-year-old, no matter how good the kid is. That felt weird, but it led to the reveal that it's just an axe. But that's not what Arondir didn't think it was the axe. He thought he was giving this kid the most powerful weapon in the Southlands. And the kid had just admitted that he feels the loss of this weapon when it was taken away. Bad parenting. Nevertheless, Theo's missing. We don't know where he's going after the eruption. Galadriel's in the middle of it. Isildur and Elendil, they're away. They're with the horses. I have a funny feeling all our major characters are somehow miraculously going to survive the eruption here, but the landscape's going to be changed completely. And the bigger question, I think, is what the heck is up with Sauron? We had a couple of... There's definitely a camp out there that thinks Halbrand is Sauron. And maybe he's playing the super long game, but I have a hard time believing that after the events of this episode. But if you have a theory as to how that idea still works, let me know in the comments. I like hearing alternate theories. I think we have proof that Adar is not Sauron, but what can we believe anything Adar says? Adar says he killed Sauron, and maybe that's true. Maybe different beings have been Sauron over the years. Maybe, like I said, it's a mantle. It's a title. It's like superheroes. There have been multiple Green Lanterns and Robins and Spider-Men over the years. Different people can be that name, and the name holds a lot of power. It's the Dread Pirate Roberts of The Princess Bride. So that's a possible theory. And whoever becomes the Sauron we're familiar with from The Hobbit and Lord of the Rings may not call themselves that right now. Or Adar is lying. He didn't kill Sauron. Maybe he... Galadriel seemed to identify him as one of... I forget the term, but one of the first orcs. Like the elves that were stolen by Morgoth and twisted and became something else. And they became the first orcs. And so he's like the king of the orcs. That's why they call him father. That's why he calls them his children. And it would appear that Galadriel also feels or knows that Sauron isn't one of the first orc. He's something else. He was Morgoth's right-hand man. So she's quite confident that Adar is not Sauron. But Sauron is a deceptor. Sauron is a shapeshifter. Sauron can appear in any form. So, yeah. No answers. No answers. More questions. Maybe some people ruled out. Maybe some options ruled out. But maybe nothing's ruled out at all. And it's just a new landscape to try and figure out these mysteries within. Anyway, I'm psyched that we got action. It may not have been perfectly, like, there's minor little plot holes that niggle at me, but the action itself was exciting and grandiose, great visuals. I love how much of it was real, and I love how well the CG was incorporated. There weren't shots that bumped. These massive, wide, cataclysmic shots of the dam breaking and water gushing everywhere down the river valley, the volcano itself erupting. Beautifully done, really well detailed, with impact and inertia and force. Yeah, it was all really well done. My only bump is these plot moments that feel a bit contrived. You know, the Numenorians felt like they got there awfully quick. Now, this is the danger of... Well, it's not a danger, but this is the trickery that goes on in script writing sometimes. We jump back and forth between all these different stories in this world, whether we're in the Southlands, whether we're with the dwarves, whether we're with Nori, whether we're on Numenor, and as we jump back and forth, we assume, and it's a natural assumption, and it's a rightful assumption, that we're in parallel time. That as things are happening in place A, and we go to place B, the things that are happening in place B, that's the exact same time. But maybe that's not the case. Maybe the voyage from Numenor actually left, weeks earlier than what we've been following in the Southlands, and now they've caught up to the Southlands timeline just in the nick of time. These are all possibilities. It's a bit of a cheat as a writer. Earlier this episode, we were still on the Numenorian ships watching the sunrise. We saw on the map, we've got to reach the coast, and then we've got to sail up this river, and then we've got to ride to this village. That's not going to happen overnight. And yet, the way it felt from the Southlands timeline that we were watching, that's kind of how it felt. So it's a little bit tricky like that, but I'll forgive it because it was thrilling. It was exciting. I was genuinely worried. I was genuinely caught by surprise by the shifts in tactics and the swings in the battle back and forth. We were in battle for the bulk of the episode, and it never felt tedious or repetitive. It was constantly evolving and changing, and we had quiet moments, we had dramatic personal moments, we had great battle stuff. I'm all for it, and it's exactly what I asked for out of the show, and I'm so glad we got it. My big question is, what happens next? What are the next 2 episodes? Do the Numenorians does everyone just retreat? Is there a counterattack? Yeah, what next? It almost feels like Galadriel has given up the way she finished the episode, just standing there as the cataclysm of the volcano engulfed her. But I'm super curious to see where we go from here, because I figured this would be where we end the season. Anyway, that was Udun, everybody. That was episode 6. Thank you so much for hanging out with me today here on Neil Talks. If you haven't already, don't forget to like and subscribe. And until next week, everybody, take care, stay healthy, and we'll see you soon. Cheers.